Canids are some of the planet's most well-adapted animals since they have evolved to thrive in nearly every single environment. From the frigid tundras of Canada to the scorching deserts of the Arabian Peninsula and even to the fiery lakes of Eternal Damnation in Orange County. Join me as we take a closer look at some of our planet's coolest canines. Arguably the most recognizable canid is the gray wolf, with over 38 currently recognized subspecies, along with whatever new Frankenstein's monster-esque abominations the American Kennel Club is pumping out these days. Interestingly enough, there is no such thing as an alpha or a beta in wolf hierarchy. It's primarily based around familial relationships. Pretty ironic considering that most of the people who genuinely believe in being alphas still live with their parents. High up in the mountains of the Himalayas, a predator is on the hunt. This is the oh my god, why does it look like that? This thing is hunting pikas, a small cousin of the rabbit. If you dislike the fox for choosing such a cute and adorable prey item, just remember that the rest of their diet is primarily composed of hares, mice, ground squirrels, and pretty much whatever cute animals live in the plateau. One of the defining characteristics of canids are razor-sharp fangs that are used to rip flesh from bone. While all dogs have pretty sharp teeth, there's a species or two that tend to go a bit overboard. This love child of a leopard and a wolf is the African wild dog, a highly social hyperpredator that has a hunting success rate higher than cheetahs, hyenas, great white sharks, every single species of big cat, and gerriphobe. Most of their success can be attributed to a very well planned out hunting technique. Whenever one dog gets tired, another one takes its place, kind of like a relay race but with fewer batons and more violence. Endemic to the grasslands of South America, the maned wolf stands around the same height as a bicycle and weighs approximately as much as 200 hamburgers. According to viewer statistics, most of my audience is from the United States, and since most Americans couldn't tell the metric system from a hole in the ground, here we are. Probably one of the most bizarre facts about the maned wolf is that their urine smells very similar to marijuana. Even more bizarre that I'm not lying or trying to be funny, look it up. Despite being a canine, the maned wolf is an omnivore, and half of their diet is composed of plant matter. I don't know what else you would expect from an animal whose piss smells like jazz cabbage. Of all the modern canids, around half of them are classified as true foxes. This group has conquered most of our planet's habitats, from the scrublands of the Kalahari to the forests of Appalachia, and even scenic Liverpool. Y'all better appreciate that joke because I'm probably going to get shanked for it. Despite being one of the most inhospitable environments on the planet, the Arctic is home to a vast assortment of incredible animals, including one very particular fox. I said it's home to a very particular fox. Okay, we've had enough establishing shots of the landscape, just show us the goddamn animal already. Oh, there it is! Finally. This adorable little ankle biter is an Arctic fox. While they may look like a Pomeranian that got lost somewhere in the Siberian taiga, they are one of the hardiest mammals around today. They survive in an environment where the average temperature is cold enough to freeze your blood. These foxes, in addition to having very thick fur, will curl up into a ball and tuck their head and legs underneath their tail. Something, this creates a smaller surface area to volume ratio, something, they don't die. I got a C in physics, let's move on to something warmer. Canids are just one of many groups of animals that are being threatened with extinction. Red wolves used to roam most of eastern North America. That was until the Europeans arrived and began their continent-wide quest of attempting to kill every mammal larger than themselves. If it wasn't for the breeding program created by Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium, this species would be lost to time. So I guess Tacoma is good at more than just having a violent crime rate of nearly 4 times the national average and constantly smelling like hydrogen sulfide. These crimson canids are called Ethiopian wolves, mostly because they can only be found in Ethiopia's highlands, but also because the name red wolf was already taken by another critically endangered species. While originally meant as a figure of speech, the phrase lone wolf is very apt for describing these canids, since unlike most of their relatives, they typically hunt by themselves. Then again, these predators primarily hunt small burrowing rodents, so there's not much need for teamwork here. Or is there? In case you couldn't tell, I'm leading up to something. Whether you know them best from Native American folktales or the maddening genius of Chuck Jones, one thing remains sure. The coyote is one conniving son of a bitch. I mean that in the literal sense, since female dogs are called bitches. Unlike typical wolves, coyotes live alone. They walk alone and will eventually die alone, but they don't always hunt alone. Allow me to introduce you to the coyote's partner in crime. This is the American badger. The team works like this. The coyote will chase ground squirrels into their burrow, where the badger lies in wait and forces them to re-emerge. Then, the coyote will grab the squirrels as they attempt to flee. Pretty ingenious for a species that can't manage to catch a terrestrial cuckoo. Native to southern Asia, dholes, or if you're a particular friend of mine who should go unnamed, d-holes, have evolved to survive in nearly every possible habitat, from alpine meadows to tropical dry forests. The dhole is most well known for having a penis 3 times as long as its body. Now that I actually have your attention, rather than bark or howl, these dogs communicate through a complex series of whistles. Oh, also, they pee like this. Some canids have very accurate names, like the crab-eating fox, which eats a lot of crabs, or the raccoon dog, which looks like a raccoon. For the sake of our censors, I really hope this next canine's name is a misnomer. Standing in at a little over 2.5 Pepsi cans tall is the bush dog, an animal so elusive that we first found their bones in a cave and thought they'd been dead for several millennia. What's unusual about these stubby puppies is that they have webbed feet and are able to swim after prey animals. Despite weighing nearly 4 times less than a timber wolf, these scrappy dudes are able to bring down tapirs, animals that weigh more than 30 times what they do. On that impressive note, that's it for this installation of Irrational Geographic. My apologies if I didn't have enough time to cover your favorite species. I am sure the only fan of the side-striped jackal is very distraught over that, but hey, maybe a sequel to this video is in the works in the near future. There are so many amazing animals that we share a planet with, and if you'd like to see me discuss more of them in the future, consider subscribing. I hope you've all learned something new today, and just remember, if we did to others what we did to the domestic dog, we'd be charged for war crimes.